Welcome to the very first episode of Winter Circles podcast. I'm Mac Montgomery.
I'm Bernadette Vincent.
So, Bernadette, how you doing today?
Man, I am so glad we're doing this. This is the first one, our first session, and I know it's been a vision you've had for a while.
Yeah, I'm excited too. You know, I have had the vision for a little while, mostly because we have really good people in the organization. And I think that the message that we're trying to get across needs to go to a wider audience, right? So,
Yeah.
um, the things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, nobody else would even understand for sure, from company to personal to everything. So I think that it's a real opportunity to, sort of get some clarity on some things and also get some insight into an organization and to some great leaders' lives. So
I think you're right. And many people struggle a lot of times when they do a startup like a business. And shoots, you have a great story. I think we should share that too. I wasn't going to really talk about all of this, but when I first met you a year and a half ago, it was real interesting to me how you got started. And a lot of people give up on their dreams. You didn't. So tell, tell everybody about it.
well, the story of Winter Circle, it's not just mine. As you know, we have I had a business partner in Reggie Barnes, and it was a lot of his vision for what we are today.
Yeah.
So I think that the Winter Circle, it was birthed from just that, wanting to make everybody a winner. We feel like that all kids deserve a chance, and all kids deserve a champion. So, and we classify champions as the people who actually help them, their circle of support. So from qualified mental health professionals to nurse practitioners to psychiatrists to LPCs, LCSWs, all of those champions are there put in the kids' lives in order to give them a chance to win. And I think that, uniquely enough, Winner's Circle, the name speaks for itself. So I definitely have to shout out Reggie for bringing that idea to life.
Yeah.
And initially we started in foster care, so we wanted to really harp on the kids that needed it the most, right? So they classify those kids as the forgotten population, and that was one thing into getting into mental and behavioral health, was that we wanted to understand that if we could create some sort of value within that particular community, then
Yeah.
the sky's the limit. That's the hardest population. They deal with the most trauma.
Yeah.
They deal with everything that you can't imagine. I go into thinking because it's taught me a lot about it's taught me a lot about not judging a book by its cover, right? So
Sure.
you never know what those kids have went through. Obviously, with getting removed from their homes, there had to be something bad that happened. And the stories that we get told and the things that we see really resonate. And it brings home, the value of the work that we do. So, but, even with all that, our biggest hire to date is still going to be our biggest hire to date. And our biggest hire going forward is, a businesswoman like yourself and a very passionate woman. So, when I say the hugest hire to date, I really mean that, because,
Wow.
the way you've helped transform and navigate through regulations and hardships and things with the company. I know Reggie and I definitely started the company along with Keisha. We started the company, but we wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for you. So
Oh, man.
tell me why you came to Winter Circle.
Well, first I got to get over that because that was a lot. But thank you. Coming to Winter Circle has been one of the best career moves I could have made. And at first I thought of it as a career move. Um, been here a year and a half, and now I feel like it's a calling. Um, it means a lot to me to make lives better, and you know that because I was in the kidney care space, I was in medical practice, group practice, management spaces, buying all kinds of companies, making a lot of people rich. And when I came to Winter Circle, it was so mission led. And people believed, every single person, from the time I walked in the door to the time I got in the field and saw the children. It's just a reality. It's what people want to do. Sure, they get a paycheck, and it's good that we can give them one. But throughout all the major stuff we have to deal with, the regulation, the requirements of payers, and our own policies that we have to follow because of state, federal, or county, it means to me that we could get beyond all that stuff and we still can deliver on the promise and the commitment you and Reggie made a while ago. And I really do like the fact that you live the mission more than you just keep talking about it. And so when I see our team out there doing what they do, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me to be able to go out every now and then and see it in person. And I feel like coming back to work every day is a pleasure. It's a blessing.
Speaking to that, I think that one thing that I wanted to bring forth as an entrepreneur and a business owner is trying to create an environment that's a little bit different than a 9-to-5 job, right? So I've been in the oil field, I've been in finance, I've been in those particular industries, and to the company, you're kind of like a number, right? So, one of the things that I wanted to do at Winter Circle was make sure that the employees feel valued. So, we do a lot of employee engagement stuff and community things to be able to help with that. The mission really helps because I really truly feel like that you can't be in this field if you don't care. You can't be good in this field if you don't care.
Yeah.
So speaking to, empowering the employees, what you've done here with the leadership team has been nothing short of amazing, right? So I do feel like that we have strong leadership culture as well. For you, are there times where you feel like you failed as a leader?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. I do a self-reflection at the end of every week. And like you probably, I look at the wins and I look at the do-overs. What would I have done differently? Every thought comes to mind weekly to see where I can improve. Because I feel like as a leader, the moment you decide you've arrived, then you don't have any room to grow.
Yeah.
And I feel that's something I need to do and in a moment of reflection all the time. Because nobody's perfect, right? And we're going to, unfortunately, make some oops. I don't think it's so much you make the mistakes or the oops as much as it's how do you respond to it. And so I do believe in servant leadership, but I also believe in, making sure people are accountable for their actions. But give them the tools, give them the work, give them the support. And by the way, communicate, because sometimes that's our biggest gap. People don't understand the why, and they don't understand how important it is to do something. They don't necessarily make the same, steps toward resolution as you would hope. We try to empower people here at Winter Circle so we don't, ride over them and see what they're trying to do. But we do want to empower them to bring their very best every day. And that's from top down, and we all believe it. And thanks for the support you give to that, because our team of teams know you, and they know you are in there talking to kids yourself, as well as talking to other agencies and people in the community. It means a lot to them to know you're representing them, and their work continues because of that.
Yeah. And for me, I think presence matters, right? So presence is, is really the key to leadership, to be quite honest with you.
Yep.
I think that, I read a lot of Kobe Bryant stuff in regards to confidence and things like that. And one thing that he did say was that, he's so confident because he knows he's put the work in. And I think that the way that it translates to any type of company, any type of entrepreneurship, any type of anything is that the more knowledgeable you are about it, the more prepared you are, the more confident you are, right?
That's
so I think that you exude that in the sense of working to know your work, right? And in the mental health space, it's not so much, for me, it's not so much as the letters behind your name and things like that, as it is to actually forming that connection and being genuine about the work that you do, because kids and adults, they feel that. And when you're trying to talk to them, you get better results if
Yeah.
you create that true relationship. So
And I think, and I don't know about you, but some of what you do is natural, Mac. I mean, I watch you every day in trying to really understand, no matter how tough things are, how you just keep that calm. And I think that's important for leadership as well. But what other stuff how did you learn so much to be in this space? Because from oil fields to mental health, that's a whole different
yeah,
world.
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess genes. I like to thank my mama for that. Uh, but for me, I think it's a lot of on the job training, right? Because there's no handbook for mental health. You can have the prescriptions, you can have the diagnosis, you
Yeah.
can have the behaviors, but you know, you won't truly feel it unless you're in there working and in there actually speaking to the person, because a sheet of paper doesn't do anybody justice. And oftentimes, a sheet of paper is what people have, the only thing people have. So,
Yeah.
real encounters, presence, real relationships, real values. I think it forces you, to either be an expert in it or go find another profession. And for me, I think one of my qualities is trying to read the room, trying to understand and relate to people. I think that, you mentioned oil field, you mentioned, I think that my background with, playing high school, high level basketball, going to college and playing basketball at Columbia, being in a diverse environment in that regards, going into the oil field, playing a little basketball overseas, being in finance. I think that will give anybody a really a big plate and a big palette to be able to relate, right? So I feel like that having those different experiences allows me to have confidence that I can relate to most people in any room. So I think 90% of it is that, just knowing that I've been through the fire on a lot of things, and understanding that the things that we've built as a company, that I've built initially, that I am the expert on most things, on most of the mental health things with Winter Circle, because it started from a spreadsheet. So if I can't speak about things that we built, then I mean something's wrong, I believe. So but yeah, I think that most of those things come from just experiences that I have had, that allow me to be a little bit more able to navigate the rooms.
So if I had to count on everything we said today, I would be thinking, if I'm a leader in the audience, about what you said. So I'm going to recap. 1, be authentic, be yourself. 2, make connections. Relationships matter, and sounds like that's what you believe in.
I do.
And then 3, walk away with confidence.
Yeah.
I like things in threes because that's easy to do
Yeah.
it. So to me, it's like, how do you really become the leader you want to be in a startup? And you made that be a part of everybody else who's a leader. And that's kind of what I see throughout the company. I came and we've added a few people, but everybody has that same, I would say, almost DNA. And don't you think that's true?
Yeah, I think that is true. I think that obviously that comes from leadership. But again, it still comes from trial and error, right? Because you never know who you're hiring at the end of the day. I think people can trick you in resumes, and we talk about letters behind names and things like that.
Right.
I think Reggie did say one thing before that I thought was really unique, is people going to fire themselves, right? So I think that when you're in an environment that's a high-level environment, there are like unwritten expectations. And with leadership like you, there's an accountability piece as well, right? So I do feel like that we fight for each other. I do feel like that we are intelligent about the things that we're doing. Most importantly, I think that we care. So I know you said things in threes, but if I had to add 2 more, I loved your self-reflection thing you said earlier. On a weekly basis, you know, self-reflect on the good and the bad, because that's important, you know. And
Yeah.
I know yours is way more structured than mine, probably. But what I will say is, you know, in order to be a good leader, I think you do need to have true self-reflection, because you know, you shouldn't always highlight your wins. You know,
No.
everything in life isn't a win.
It isn't.
But you either winning or you learning. You know, so I believe
Like
that self-reflection is good from what you said, and above all, I just think you have to care. You know, and if I had to put it in threes: passion, care, and self-reflection, we'll do that. So we got 6 now.
Okay, now we got 6.
We got 6.
It's
now.
a
We got
wrap.
6.
I love that.
Yeah. So,
Well, I understand even in the next episode, you're going to be talking to somebody who was with you from the very start, and you're going to help the audience understand how that translates into being a good clinical professional, and also how to use leadership principles that you just talked about in his day-to-day.
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, me too. And the person that we will be interviewing, I think that they exude those things, right? So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to being able to continue this Winter Circle podcast. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to get us out there, and more importantly, I think that people need to know Bernadette.
Well, I'm so happy to be a part of that. And you know what, Mac? I have never, ever regretted the move. NOLA is a good place, but H-Town is happening, so I love it. And I'm becoming probably closer as a Texan
There you go.
now, and I don't put this on the national news. But because there's so many things and opportunities here, and like you said, we got to reach as many children and families as we can.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I'm here, just to add on to what you already started.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
it's exciting.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I'm glad you're a Texan now. We won't. I'm gonna yell it. You ain't gonna. I'm glad.
Well, I got to get the license plates changed.
I know. I'm glad you're a Texan now, but for us, you know, obviously the purpose of this podcast is for us to be able to get, you know, mental health awareness out.
Yeah.
The person that we're interviewing next, you know, we'll go more into, you know, June is Men's Mental Health Month, right?
Yeah.
So we can talk a little bit about that, but more so get what we do out there, get our leadership out there, because there are millions of people that face challenges that they just don't know who to turn to, and
Yes.
you know, we provide a vehicle for them to turn to. So
And we don't mind sharing it. So if you're listening today at our first episode, just know we'll be back, and we will show you just exactly how this roadmap worked. So keep watching. Thank you for today.
yeah, thank you.